Welcome to the RS2G podcast, where I motivate, inspire listeners by discussing failures, success, and the journey of a rebirth. If you are someone who wants to hear the honest truth from a host that puts his right hand to God, as I interview people who have built empires and sometimes watched them crumble as their lives have taken an unexpected twists and turns, this podcast is for you. Life is not always easy. And as a combat military veteran, active military for 14 years, I know about sacrifice and facing fears and true loyalty. I can't wait to take you on this rebirth journey with myself and my guests as we discuss life and living with your right hand to God. Boom.
It's a capsule.
Welcome to the RH2G podcast, where we hustle and motivate and inspire. And, I got a good guest on tonight, Mr. Matt, Money Matt. You guys might know him as Matt or Money Matt, but, he's a very inspirational youngster out here that's charting these charts out here in Tampa. Can you tell us who you are and where you're from? I don't want to take that away from you.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
If I could put it in some words, I'm a serial entrepreneur.
Okay.
Really just know how to go get it. Born and raised out of Tampa, but do everything from financials top to bottom.
But before that,
Yeah.
you was a superstar. What was you playing, football?
Yeah.
Tell them about it.
So that was up until pretty much right prior to the league. That was 7 years old to COVID time. So that's all I knew. That's all I was thinking about. Just eat, sleep, and breathe. The gym, scoring touchdowns on Saturdays and Sundays for a short period of time. And that was it.
What position you play?
Running back and then kick return. Yeah.
Oh, wow. There you go. What you running your 40?
My fastest ever was a 4.39.
4.39.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I played tailback and I played safety. So I saw you. When I saw you, I was like, yeah, he plays some football. He's built. Yeah. I would love to see you play. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know you before that, but I know you now. So tell them what you're doing now.
Honestly, what I'm doing now, man, is just really helping change people's lives from just how to go think differently in terms of making the money and then where to put it. And that goes from a various different of ways, from actually the investing standpoint, fixing your credit, using that to get money to leverage, and then just being able to think outside of your everyday life. So that's one thing I've been able to personally do and, help me make 7 figures the last few years in a row and just duplicating the blueprint.
Look at you. I love it, too, because, that's what our culture needs. We need to understand how to, talk money, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we was little, nobody taught us how to balance checkbooks or
At all.
talk money or save money, right? It's like you get it, you spend it, you get it, you spend it. And then I went to the military, it was the same thing. If you were under the rank of probably sergeant, you was living paycheck to paycheck, especially if you lived in the barracks. So it's like you get it and you want to spend it and you do it, and then you know that you have a secure check coming. But you are a money, I want to say philosophist. You understand the money now.
Yeah.
And now you're making money. Money makes for you now. And that's awesome, because I heard your speech at Shake the Room.
Yeah.
And it inspired me too. When we first met, I know that your plate is always full and you help so many people. And I saw it, and that's how I am too. And when we went out to dinner, I told you I didn't want anything from you. I just wanted to talk and be a friend. And I know you get that from everybody. Can you help me? Favors, all that, right?
Yeah,
it gets hard.
Yeah.
I'm the person that everybody comes to too.
Yeah.
So I see that in you. How do you get away from that?
Honestly, it's a growing experience and it's tough, especially because it's I'm only 25.
Yeah.
So, from people who I'm doing business with who could be my parents, people who I once, like they say, your idols become your rivals and sometimes peers. And people who I once, looked up to or was like, dang, I'd be hopeful to talk to them. Now it's I'm in contact with people like, Grant Cardone, Stormy Wellington, Mr. and Mrs. 2 Weeks Out, and doing business with these types of people.
Yeah.
All the way from people who are just getting out of high school. So it's a growing, challenge just to have that understanding in terms of just how to balance stuff out, because I still want to service, but it's I'm seeing the overload and just how that can affect me. So
Right.
Kind of getting away from that, again, just between church, really just God, and really allowing me to understand, it's what I, especially in this hustle culture, it's you kind of feel dang, I need to work all the time, 24/7. And, you know, it was a service maybe 2 months ago talking about the Sabbath. And like, I would never really take days off.
Right.
But I could see how it could kind of catch up, especially emotionally, like just subconscious. So Sundays now, I don't do any work.
Yeah.
Like, people hit me up. It's
Yeah.
like, unless I really feel like it or it's that important, maybe. But Sundays is just like me time, family time,
Right.
obviously church in the morning. And then Tuesday after 6, it's cut off.
That's
you know,
it.
I've implemented self-care days. So it's like every month, haircut,
Yeah.
nails,
Yeah.
facial, feet, massage,
Everything.
Yeah. And
I
that's
like
been
that.
the past year and a half, I've been doing that every month.
That's a balance you gotta have. I tell people all the time. I do that. I go sit, get my nails done on my feet, my hands, my facials. I was just talking to you about the beard, the Chinese massage. I do that. I do the cupping. I do the
I just got some. Look, it's so funny.
I saw it. I saw that when I think you was on Instagram. You had posted that. I do the micro needling. I do all that stuff because it's important. We only got one body.
Yeah.
And a lot of us run. And I noticed once I was figuring out who I am, I don't do anything on Sunday but church.
Yeah.
I will go to the gym. My first gym day starts Sunday.
Yes.
And then during the week, I take Thursday off. But every other week, I come Thursday and do the podcast. So you got to have a balance.
For sure.
You got to understand who you are and a routine. A lot of people don't have routine. Routine is very important. Get up, make your bed, go to work out. Do these things that keep you vital and keep you going. You right? I have a day job.
Yeah.
That day job fuels what I'm doing now. But at the end of the day, I got the same intensity I bring here or as a hood motivator, I got to do it as a project manager because that's the balance you got to have. You can't it's not one without the other. You got to do it simultaneously. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And understand who you are. So balance is really good, man. I love the fact that you talked about that. And I always see you in the gym too. How are you doing that now? You know what
Honestly, you know, like touching on the schedule piece, I feel like football and actually how I grew up truly, because, you know, especially just when it came to school, my mom wasn't playing about them grades.
Right.
So that was one of the things, and I knew I had to have that in order to play ball.
Right.
So, you know, just as far as that schedule routine, like I was always so on point when it came to my schoolwork and just balancing that with being able to play, you know, 'cause I did baseball, swimming, track all the way up through college, you know, so just having that routine and okay, cool. In the mornings, we'll wake up, you know, breakfast, school, practice, come back, finish homework. That was a routinely thing. So just transitioning that again when it came to college, that's when football was really like a job because I'm being paid. You know, they were paying me every month. You know how it goes.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
So it wasn't like I'll just you better show up here, you better
job.
perform.
Yeah.
Let alone again striving to get to the league. It's like it was really a job, even though like it was a passion. So that kind of propelled everything in terms of that routine. Because like now I still wake up every morning ever since at 7:30 in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Really earlier than that, but that's when I get to the gym. After that, you know, I get to trading. Then it's like I have my assistant meetings. Then we'll have consultations throughout the day. I might be networking, doing whatever. So everything is so calculated. But to the gym though, I mean, I still train like I'm playing ball though, because I still got a lot of friends who play in the league. So, you know, it's funny. One of them reached out and was trying to get me to come to a mini camp this fall.
Really?
And I was like, hey, bro, like you think you want to, you know, come out? I'm like, honestly, I'm good. You know, I don't gotta hit. I gotta be hit by 300-pound guys no more.
Yeah.
Like I'm
solid. Good. Yeah. You don't want to wake up and like all your body's
my
in pain.
knees hurt.
I
So,
can dig it.
But that's one thing that kind of lets me decompress and really, you know, just escape sometimes.
Right.
So that's how that goes.
I like that because, you know, you're young and you're figuring out. I didn't figure that out till I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
Isolation, understanding that the way we are taught, going out all the time and partying and being involved, that's the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like you should celebrate and do that, right? So I came to a point to where I stopped everything for like 15, 20 years. I don't do anything. I'm paranoid. I ain't going out because I don't have time for the BS. Now that if I do go out with my security, and I only do it like once or twice a month because there's no need for me to do this all the time.
Yeah.
I need to be in solitude at my house so I can understand, because when I go out there and do this type of inspiration, it's draining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's why people pay me for what I do as motivational, because the time and the charging of their batteries, when I go home, I feel all that.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
And I know
That
you
was
do.
a lot, yeah.
People come tell you their story about finance, and you want to try hard to help them.
And it's always a story, and it's like that's the inside part of me where it's like I truly want to help because I've been on the other side of that conversation. Like I remember pulling up to school in high school, like, you know, there was no place to live, and everything that we had was in the back of a U-Haul truck. Meanwhile, like I'm getting offers from all these different schools, and it's like nah, like we not moving, like we don't got a place to go just yet. So this U-Haul is is where we at. So it definitely can be draining because I've been in that situation, you know. So it's like it's that balance, like we were talking about, in terms of really wanting to help, but also knowing like I can only help but so much. And at the end of the day, if it's to a point to where I'm always pouring out and I have nothing left to give, then it's like, how can I help you at that
Right,
point?
right.
So it's tough because it's like I know people, generally speaking, may not be in the same mental you know, mindset and capacity to kind of figure things out.
Yeah.
In terms of like, because they're so stuck in the area every day. Like, you know, if you can't have the time to creatively think, it's like
Right.
you can't see the other side. You
Right.
know, so that's one thing I definitely having like the discernment to do, but also like at the end of the day, I like, you know, like you said, I'm not meant to here to save everybody. You know, like that's God's job.
Can't.
You know,
You can't.
so
You can't. And at the end of the day, you got to be able to. The greatest manager of self is self, and you can't give anybody anything if you don't give that to you. And we've been taught that no is bad, no is good.
Yeah.
Like I tell people no all the time. Like, nah, I'm good. And people look at me like I'm like, nah, I don't want to taste that. I don't want to go nowhere with you. I'm good because I'm protecting my peace.
Yeah.
Because if you get me out of that spectrum, then it might be a way that you might not like that JR.
Yeah.
Because now I'm very uncomfortable. And I don't like that. I don't like to be uncomfortable because when you put me in that mode and I go into tactical, now I'm
That's a
uncomfortable being
different you.
uncomfortable. Now it's a different me. Now I'm ready to dial up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but I want to be calm and I practice that a lot. And I see that with you. And you know, that when you spoke of discernment, that's what I saw of you when I met you. And I'm like, okay, he's trying. He's out here. You and you're not changing who you are. You're sticking to Matt, and I love it.
Yeah.
Try. You got the Lambo. You got the change. Do it because people see you and they don't know what's in you. And that's why I do what I do because people say, oh, you got the Long Beach hat on. You got
Yeah.
this. But I'm educated and I'm smart and I was in the military and I used to gangbang. But this is what I'm doing now. So at the end of the day, if you stepping in your purpose and God gave you that gift, that's who you are. Don't run from it. And that's the message of today. Make sure that you understand that. Don't feel guilty. You just said you were sleeping on a U-Haul truck. A lot of these kids was doing a lot of different things while they was coming up. Bask in your glory. God
Yeah.
gave that to you. Don't shy away from that. All you got to do is sharpen that skill set because there's going to be other young kids that see you and want to do money situations like you
Yeah.
and help people with finances and tell people how they can help their businesses grow and all the things that you do. Can you tell us all the things that you do? A lot of things.
Yeah.
Because when I first met you, you were trading. And then I saw that you was kind of like, you turned into kind of like a mogul. And I love it because within 2 years, both of our story changed.
Yeah.
I was a janitor 2-3 years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I had just fell from being the #1 CEO of a top security company. And I was humbled. And, you know, you went through your humbling stage
Yeah.
after COVID, you know, not playing football no more and trying to figure out life. So tell us about that.
Well, as far as everything I do right now, yeah. So I mean, when I say it's financials top to bottom,
Yeah.
top to bottom. And I can't honestly thank God more than just connecting me with certain individuals, to even have the information, let alone just the opportunity to like have a different perspective on like what money even is, let alone like how to really make it, right? But alongside of the trading part, I mean, I own a hedge fund, so I trade for a lot of investors. I mean, I teach. I have a whole platform, you know, from mentorship to having like an experience where people fly in and like, you know, pay to be with me for a few days, you know, ride around in the cars, trade, and do these things, but monetize the whole trading space, credit repair, business funding, also comes with personal, commercial too, life and health insurance, just because, again, a lot of the business owners who I do stuff for, they have assets, they have homes, they have these things. So being able to have this everything top to bottom within that, there comes a life insurance, and really just, you know, coaching, because it's like, you know, I really had to grow through this process and not just go through it. So really understanding the levels of business. Granted, again, I'm still young, but you know, within the last 3 years, really going from, okay, stop playing football, getting involved in network marketing, having great success, you know, like a 500 organization in like 8 months, losing that, and then getting into a space where now it's like I'm having to do the same thing but independently, right? So now I'm having to build the ground up without the infrastructure. So really understanding how to market, which again, network marketing was great for that.
Right,
you know, how to, just prospect people blindly with no leads,
Right.
then going from having an infrastructure, doing these different things. So that's where the coaching comes into play
Right.
to tie everything in. So
I love it.
That's kind of everything.
I love it because you have a whole, like you have so much channels coming into who you are, and you have to.
Yeah.
You got to have so many streams of income, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
You can't just have one. And I see people, they just live their day to life and one thing they got going on. That's okay. But sometimes if you want to be great, you got to dare to go do a lot of different things. When I started podcasting and speaking, I was mainly talking to myself.
Yeah.
Now, switching into next year, I'm already getting paid from YouTube on certain things. I do $6, $7.
Gotcha.
But once I finish this tour and my book comes out, all the streaming is going to come back to what I've been doing for Instagram and YouTube, because people are going to be like, let me see if he's been saying this for a long time.
Yeah.
Okay, it ain't just happened just now. No, nobody created my page. I created my stuff in 2011. I had Instagram in 2011. I'm old. I'm telling my
It
age.
was a whole different platform.
Yeah,
then,
so they was back then. They was taking pictures of food.
right.
It was all over.
Like
and I was
Facebook.
international. Yeah, I was Germany. I was Korea. I was military. So whoever had the best food platter at a restaurant internationally, people would take pictures of their food. That's how Instagram got started. And then it was dogs, and then it was cars, and then now everybody's showing out. You know what I'm saying? But I tell my story about failing. I think it's important to tell the youth that if you want that type of lifestyle, you're gonna have to fail first.
Truly.
You can't just like you just said, you lost 400 people.
Yeah.
You sound like me. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember that. I heard that was my baby. I lost my whole company. Got ridiculed. Got shamed and everything. And God was like, "Okay, you ready to listen? You ready to listen, Jr.? Start speaking life." And then I started to speak life. And then I started to open up my company. Then I started to manage, which I was already good at it. I was like, just won't you do that for your company now? You don't need to have all them people.
Yeah.
And now I got about 4 or 5 clients. I go speak around the world. I speak on a lot of topics, and that's what it is. And I think I see you doing the same thing on your platform, and I'm proud of you because when I heard you speak, I was like, this is powerful. Your age group need to have, we need to have that room packed.
Yeah.
Because it's people going out every Friday and Saturday and spending everything they got.
Everything they got just to keep up.
To keep up with you. And not knowing you put in the hard work.
I'm inside on the computer, doing stuff, or watching a podcast right now, over stuff, or again, not to say I don't miss those times because again, I ain't gonna lie, I had a select few business partners, and best believe he was in Miami every week.
Oh, they turn up,
every for my birthday of 2022 actually. Yeah, it was a time. So 2022, literally, that was the first time, because again, I had my first 50K month ever, May of 2022, and it's been like that ever since. But we dang near did $1 million in 8 months from May. But my birthday came around, and that was the first time I ever had a birthday party. So keep in mind, I think I mentioned to you, every day. At the start of January 2022, I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to have 10 I'm so happy and grateful statements, right? That I'm going to be a 7-figure earner, get a penthouse, buy a mama car, get mine, do these, and have a birthday. Because growing up, okay, yeah, we might have family dinner. I might go with my aunts and uncles and stuff to Leroy Selmer's or something, but I never had a real party where I invited people and did stuff. So, and I only did, we went to actually, a place called Lit, it was 1942 galore. We was going
Everybody
crazy.
had bottles.
Yeah.
I know Lit.
Yeah, so we 1942'd it out. Then a week later, we were in Miami for 7 days.
Out there on the boat?
Culinus for a week, yachts. It was just, yeah.
No invite.
But
I'm just playing with
more
you.
or less, yeah, it's people keeping up with that. And it's just to tie it in, it's a good time. But now when I'm looking at, kind of where I want to be, a lot of that stuff is really just for the marketing to go back to doing the work.
That's it.
So just not to get too caught up into that. But, I don't regret it.
Right.
It's definitely, I feel you got to get it out your system.
Sometimes it's needed though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hide out because, don't take my advice. I would love to go out, but sometimes I'm just real paranoid. I don't trust people.
Yeah.
And I don't trust myself around people sometimes because it gets to a point to where you know me, but then no disrespect. Don't do that because then I don't play with you. I'm gonna be really calm. I had a situation that I was talking to one of my good friends and we was at a restaurant and we was talking business because I was helping her manage some stuff.
Yeah.
And that was the very first time she saw me get active in a way to where it's like she know me, but it was a different side that almost scared her to the
Yeah,
point
she's
to where it's
like,
like, what? Yeah. So, from that point on, I was like, I cannot do that again because I know myself. And I don't really like pride myself on being the toughest, but don't play with me at all. So I
Yeah.
try to be humble. I don't try to be, I am, and respectful
for sure.
and calm. And I give warnings. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, leave me alone, please. Just go that way. You know, probably go play somebody else, not
Yeah.
me. But now that I go out, I have security now.
Gotcha.
So he keeps me, you know, in my soft skill, meaning like shaking hands, how you doing? If I feel aggression, take care of it. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But which I don't
Yeah.
need them, but I do need them. If God taking me to a place,
Just
I
in
can't be out
case.
there doing no crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Right? So I got to protect me and who I am and my image now. So, and it's important. I invest in security now. And I was in security. And why I do it, because I know how security think, especially professional. We're there to make sure that nothing happens, and we're going to digress everything that goes on, psychological profile, situation awareness. They're not going to put me in no situation where it's aggressive, like a hood situation where I
Yeah.
got to, you know what I'm saying, speak who I am or whatever. If I feel that way, we're leaving. And that's it. And I think it's a good investment, just like going to get your nails done.
Exactly.
It's a good investment. And I only do it once or twice a month. Like I got a ball on the 19th I sent you.
Okay.
He's coming with me. Yeah. Probably a couple hours and I'm going home. That's it. Take me, let me mingle, network, and bring me back home.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
that's definitely another thing I've kind of like just realized is like, I feel like when you enter different stages of your life, it's certain stuff that you either can't do or you just don't do as much.
Yeah.
And definitely, when it came to going to the clubs and shoot going to booby trap off the river in Miami often, it's one of them things where now doing real business for real dollars.
Yes.
It's certain things where certain individuals that I really want to do stuff with, may feel like that's almost irresponsible for me to kind of be out in all these different places, almost put myself at risk when, we got real business involved, or just for the sake of like how I'm handling it. So I kind of like, really realized that. And that was one thing I also had to come to God about. And really like, am I bad for doing this, or should I just have a level of magnitude knowing what should I do maybe less of,
Right.
just for where I'm at, because it's kids who are in high school like, dang, bro, like I seen your page, like I want to be able to do that, or like you said, it's people who are so stuck in like athlete mode and it doesn't pan out, and it's kind of like, dang, like that was all I ever knew, and then it's like at that point, like it's just go get a job and that's out. Because like when everything stopped for me for football, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna go get this corporate job. I'm gonna get me a little charger, make $60K, and like I'm cool.
Yeah.
Right. But then that was also what I was exposed to, and at a point, that's what I felt like I'm doing great. Not to, undermine that, but it was one of those things where if I couldn't see anybody else doing it, like who looked like me, but like, again, without having to dribble a ball, act or rap, I'm like, how am I gonna do it? Because other than what Jay-Z and Diddy, but it was no Diddy, right? But it was no other black people really standing, like really doing business, outside of entertainment. So that was one thing. I'm like, well, let me kind of allow myself to be the trailblazer to show like, no, you can really go get that same type of money,
Right.
Without having to do these things. And like, it just think, like we're the most innovative people, in my opinion.
Yeah, we are.
Shoot,
Yeah,
built this country, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's like we can change that in a different way. Because I got friends, people, who do stuff on computers, to make a phone call, to athletes, to everything. So
All that.
half of it is just that exposure. I feel like if you don't have the chance to think different, it's like you can't do different.
You can't, man. You got to be an innovator.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and try and just put your best foot forward. There's so many people that talk a lot.
Yeah.
Right? I don't like to be around people who talk about what they're going to do and never do it. Your time passed. Like, you've been talking about that for 5 years.
Right.
You ain't did nothing, right? So, and then you got people that we call like barracks lawyers.
Yeah.
That I swear they know everything, but they ain't did nothing. How you telling me to own this Mercedes or drive it and you never owned one yourself? Get out of here. Don't tell me nothing.
That almost got me out of not getting one. Somebody was like, yeah, like
I heard.
Those Mercedes, like they're bad on maintenance. I'm like,
you got one? If you don't got one, who do you hear this from?
I haven't had one problem in the last
Look at
3
that.
years having one now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like,
But that's the society we live in.
Yeah.
People speak on topics. Like right now, we got the topic between Drake and Kendrick. Everybody chose sides.
Yeah.
People speaking about it. You really, how long you been a Kendrick fan?
Right.
A K-Doc fan. I'm from California. I'm from Long Beach. He's from Compton. Like, we've been knowing this kid since he was a battle rapper.
All they know is
So-
Mad City.
Yeah, so don't speak on it if you really don't. Oh, you just now you opening your ears
Yeah.
because he drops every 5 years. So it's just things like that people like they naive of that, but still don't care. They talk about it and it sounds good, especially on these podcasts.
Yeah.
People running their mouth about a whole lot of things, but not
It's
educated.
just drama.
It's just drama.
entertainment. Yeah.
And that's why I keep mine positive
Yeah.
and uplifting and inspiring because the kids are watching. I just got booked to go to my old high school to go speak. That's viral because I'm not a football player.
Yeah.
I'm not a rapper. I'm not a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? That came from something. I'm somebody that's just made something out of nothing. You know what I'm saying? My mama was she was on crack cocaine. She died when I was 9 years old of AIDS. So me going through school and hustling and gangbanging and then going to the army and all that stuff, they bringing me back
Yeah.
to show that life now. You know what I'm saying? And me about to venture off of my doctoral program. Now I get to show them you don't have to change who you are. You can look just like this. As long as you do it, stay consistent.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell that story. And that's the viral moment that I'm going to tell because my target market is these kids. I want to do something called Save the Babies Tour.
Yeah.
And that means that everything we talked about on Shake the Room, we take it to these 18 and under. Teach them about money, teach them about motivation, teach them about energy, teach them about mental health. Because we don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
Especially as black men. Like we shy away from it. You know what I'm saying? And I figured out once I was going through my situation that I've been needed help. So when I started to get help, it started to change for me, right? In understanding that, okay, JR, if you can do it, you would inspire somebody else to do it. My name is Dr. J.R. McIntyre. I'm a certified motivational speaker and a social media influencer, and I can't wait to teach you how to excel your real estate business on the LinkedIn platform. LinkedIn is actually the most underrated social media platform. In my class, Elevate Your Real Estate Success for LinkedIn Mastery, you will learn 3 key principles. Number 1, how to generate your high quality leads. Number 2, get personal branding and excellence. Number 3, strategic networking strategies. If you want to be a disruptor in the real estate industry, this class is definitely for you. I see you online and I can't wait to take your LinkedIn profile to the next level. JR out. Boom. People don't know I was in the hospital for like 77 days in mental health. I was Arkham, like Batman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I was, after Afghanistan and Iraq and all that good stuff, I didn't know what was going on with me. And I took the stance to go into inpatient and fix me. And that's when that process started. And then, I started to get better. And then I went bankrupt. And then it attached again. And after that, God was like, you ready to listen? I told you what to do.
Yeah.
Go speak
Gotta
life.
listen now.
And now I'm listening.
I feel like
That's why you're here.
I feel like that's so important, like what you touched on, like the whole mental health part, especially, as us black men, because I feel like that showing emotion part is like always such a bad thing. And I feel like I've been able to kind of do that a lot better and I feel like fairly well, because I don't even know my dad, right? And I've only been raised by my mom and grandma. And I feel like a lot of those kind of, principles and morals, let alone just having that other side of knowing like what things look like and can feel from a woman's perspective. And I feel like my mom did such a great job to she was like my number one fan, but also played both roles at a very, very good rate. It was it was almost like making sure that I could express myself and if I felt a certain way or like things was, maybe not going as bad, like, I failed per se or, maybe lost, like allowing me to just, I can be human, what I'm saying? But at the same point, she wasn't going to allow me to kind of feel like I couldn't get stuff done or like I couldn't really be who I was called to be. So it was always like, okay, you feel some way, now get up, let's do this thing. Because again, that's how she operated.
Right.
Like I seen her work, shoot 3 jobs, sometimes miss a bill just for me to play Little League football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So definitely, I feel like I get it honest, because that was all I saw, and like I think I told you, even though I never met him, I think me and my dad probably spoke. I think for 4 days. I think my freshman year of high school, and that was also kind of tough. Just speaking of like the whole just emotion aspect of things, because I'm always seeing, growing up, my friends or other people at the school, they got family photos and stuff, and I'm just like, why we don't got that? Like what's wrong with me? And like that was a tough pill to swallow, from childhood. Because again, I don't understand. I didn't understand like why parents aren't together. Like, you know, like you can have that choice, or some parents just don't want to hold that responsibility. So just kind of almost not like a burden almost, but kind of like I wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? But like from a parental aspect, damn near up to college. And at that point, it was just kind of like, well, shoot, I got here now. You know. But more or less, as far as that emotional part, I feel like that's so big, you know, because a lot of times us as men, we're so focused on like, you know, do, or like execute. We forget it's the other side to the conversation that you want to be somewhat empathetic about,
Right.
so you can also be able to communicate effectively. Because that was one thing I noticed between other, you know, certain people. Like even playing sports, I could care less how the coach talked to me. Like I'm gonna do what I got to do regardless.
Yeah.
But every you know kid don't respond that way. Like you can't, you know, yell to one and then you might have to be able to be compassionate and tap into that emotional other side. Because if not, he might be a great athlete, but you just might be he can't think, operate, you know. So me kind of seeing that and like how that situation was in sports just allowed me to kind of tune more into that emotional part like you're talking about. And just being raised from women, you know. And that's I feel like that was very big just in terms of like how I carry stuff now, you know.
That's good, though. I like the way you touched on that, because that's also important, understanding that, you know, of something like coaching, and you have different kids in this scenario base, and you got to all talk or coach them different. When I was in basic training, that was the first time I saw people all over the world.
Yeah.
All I knew was Long Beach, Compton, LA, like gangbang and all that. But when I went to the Army, I was like, what is this? I never met nobody from Wisconsin,
Right.
or, you know, New Hampshire.
Where is that on the map?
Where is that? Yeah. And then see them, how they act and talk, that, oh, wow, they didn't grow up like this. You might yell or scream, and they over there crying. We over there like, whatever,
Yeah.
you know, because we heard it before we do something, you know. So you see the different characters of people in that form, and I was blown away in basic training to see everybody from all over the world together, and now you get to really see, okay, the East Coast, the West Coast, you see the South. You know, I used to think the military was made of nothing but people from the South.
Yeah.
When I went to Germany, everybody had gold teeth. I was like, where am I? This ain't
Yeah.
Mississippi, but they recruit a lot from down south. So the dynamics were different when I was in Germany. Everybody I know was from down south. It was rare to see a West Coast person or somebody from the East Coast. You might see, you know, the country people in there, but you got strictly like down south right there. So and how you see that nurturing going on in the military, and people coming from all over the place, you got to understand as a leader how to lead your platoon.
Yeah.
How to lead these soldiers, how to lead your football team, how to understand. So that's why my motivational is different. You know, I do life coaching too. So sometimes you don't need to always yell.
Yeah.
You could talk, and you saw that when I was on the stage. I went through all my phases of speaking. I went through management. I went through motivation. I went through life coaching, and I went through consulting. All on one. Because to show people this is what it is. It doesn't need to be just that. You know, and this is why I get paid to do what I do, because I do it all, just like you. And I don't need to do X, Y, and Z. No, I do it all because I'm certified in them situations. And if I need to sit down and have a conversation with a young athlete, I'm coaching him. If somebody comes to me for business, I consult them. If you need motivation, we're going to turn up. You know what I'm saying? In the way that I know that I can reach you. And that's it. And I'm very inspired by you. I told you when we was on the stage in front of all them people that I'm proud of you and I'm inspired, and keep going, because you never know who you entertain. The Bible says, be careful that you might be entertaining angels unaware. You never know who's watching. So you make sure that you keep up that same intensity, because God gave that to you, and you only get one time to do it. Yeah, one time. He got your attention, and you got that windows open for so long, you know, and I think that it's your time, and, you know, I see it, and I'm happy for you.
I appreciate that. And that's one thing, like I'm always making sure like I don't allow the fact that I guess, you know, I could be in the 1% of people like to kind of get in my head, because as fast as it felt like it got here, it could go just as quick, you know what I mean? And I feel like just being coachable, let alone really being a student, and not allowing whether that be a level of income or status or where I live at to kind of define like how I treat people. Because it's like at the end of the day, I was once on the other side of that conversation. Like I said, like I wasn't always here. And it's a lot of people, you know, one, they just don't know better, or two, like really need somebody to take a chance on them. You know, like it's one of my business partners now, you know, like if it wasn't for him taking a chance on me to kind of like exploit his network to my skill set,
Right.
I may not have gotten here as quickly. Now, do I feel like I still would eventually, win and touch the ticket? For sure. But that's like that right there in itself just kind of show like, being able to be vulnerable, let alone like, you know what, like let me give certain people an opportunity just to shine. Cause like one that may, like you said, like this may be a star in the making, like I just don't know it, you
Right.
know? But even then, that's also something you got to have that discernment about because everybody really not trying to do it for the right purpose, you
No,
know?
they're not.
Or really providing value. But that's one thing, like just from being around you, like just that wisdom,
Right.
like it also helps, just having someone else who looks like me to kind of, I guess you could say, coach me through these situations because
Right.
I don't know it all,
Right.
like, again, I guess you could say accelerated part in life, but like it's still a lot of life I haven't lived.
Right,
Or,
right.
certain situations that I haven't experienced that you have.
Right,
So
right.
just being able to kind of sit here and listen and see like, okay, all right, Jay, like, how you feel about this or that, or, I know you experienced it, like, how did you go about it,
Right.
having that similar understanding, because a lot of people might speak on a situation that I'm making a decision upon, but not sitting in these same shoes.
Right, exactly.
And that's the hardest part for me sometimes. It's like, you're telling me how I should have moved in terms of, doing something, but
Right.
it's like, you're not making these decisions. You don't have people, like, you don't pay for your mom bills, yours, your assistants, people asking for, so like making them decisions is tough sometimes,
Right.
and it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Here you go.
Yeah.
And you got people out there, like, how many people that told me what they would have done different at the conference, but you
Yeah.
ain't never thrown no conference.
Thank you.
What are you talking about?
You
right?
can't even get people in the room.
You can't even get people in the room. You telling me how you would have done it, your suggestions.
Yeah.
Take your suggestions, go tell somebody else at McDonald's or somewhere. Don't tell me. I'm already doing this.
Yeah.
I'm already here. You underestimated me anyway. You probably came to see me fail. And that's what turns me up.
Yeah.
Because the doubts, I can see the doubts on people's face. Oh, you ain't going. Okay, look what's going on now. So I like the pressure.
Yeah.
I perform well with that, and I look forward to seeing you back on the stage August 24th, and just breaking it down because
sure.
we're gonna show the analytics of how
my
everything
birthday month,
happens.
too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna turn
Yeah.
up there. I'm gonna turn up with you. I promise you. I get out the house.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you just gotta give me I gotta work my way up to it.
Okay. Yeah. Hey,
I'll be
it
at
was
the
crazy
gym
last
with you,
year.
but like going out, I gotta really like plan. Okay, and then the day that comes, I'll be like, I don't know if I'm not going. How many times, Gia, you invited me places, and I'll be like, I ain't coming. Comes right. Many, yeah, I only came one time. Yeah, I don't be outside. I go to the gym. Yeah, I
No,
do the
it
gym.
was a time.
Yeah,
It was a
definitely.
time that like my birthday that just passed, literally like because again I could really do it like I wanted to. Like, it was a yacht day. Finally got my years, for like the whole week
There you go.
and flew all my friends in. We stayed at the Edition, Eddie, like shoot, rent out the whole front section of Lit.
Are you doing it again this year?
I probably may not do the club part.
Okay.
It might be a little bit something
Let
different.
me know.
but,
Involve me. I'll do
yeah,
it.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah,
be
I
good.
prepare because August 24th is a speaking thing. When is your birthday?
The 12th.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll be free. Yeah. I just have to, like I said, plan. I got to charge my mental battery up. Yeah.
Look, I put a hint on the story.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
did?
that reel where
Yeah.
I show my birthday recap.
Oh yeah.
I put a hint in terms of what it's gonna be.
People hitting you up like it's already popping. It's coming.
Well, I put a hint like in terms of like what's gonna happen.
Right.
Well, if you listen to the very last part, you'll
Yeah.
know.
I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna look at it. I'm excited, man. My birthday's in July, so I'm a Cancer. I'll be 43. And
July what?
July 18th.
Dang, you couldn't wait. You couldn't be pushed out a few more days. Could have been Leo too. That's crazy.
What date you was born?
The 12th.
The 12th. Okay, yeah. So I graduate with my master's the next day. So I walk. I already done. So I
Yeah.
walk. So I'm happy with that situation. So
That's good.
yeah, man, it's a blessing to have you here. And real entrepreneurs. What time is it? About it's 11:30 at night. And we grinding. And your day don't stop.
Yeah.
Because you got to get up in the morning and keep going. Me too. I
Right
got to be
back.
at work at 7. You know what I'm saying? And it happens all over again. But I appreciate you coming and thank you. Do you want to tell some kids some wise words that's coming from you? Look in that camera. Let them know who you are, what you want to tell them, and what your Instagram is.
Some wise words that I could give you guys is don't feel like it's too late to start. Don't feel like it's too late to catch up. And more importantly, never let the words of another individual who hasn't walked your walk stop you from chasing your dream. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one who's going to do it. It's already been written, and you're the only one who's going to find out. In terms of how to reach me, I mean, it's Big Money Matt with 2 underscores on Instagram, straight like that.
There you go, straight like that. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. This is a very inspirational situation, and you are leading the youth. And I would be no good if I don't sit down with you and coach you to help you get through that point and say, you know what, it's your turn now. And I'm LeBron. I got to bow out.
Right.
So it's y'all time, and I'm here and I'm cheering loud as ever because God has a plan for me, and I know that when we all align the right way, it's going to be unstoppable. I see this tour that we're doing, the conference, taking off in a huge speed. So whoever's with me now is going to be going on with me until we end. So,
1,000%.
yeah, thank you guys for coming. I appreciate it. Thank you. Elias, cut it.
So mad. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
a capsule.
They're mad cause he told the truth. That's why they mad. They're mad cause he wanna be you.